Hey everybody, we are live now. This is Matthew Patterson with the Patterson Group at Keller Williams. I got to be honest, this is my first live. I'm being forced to do it, so I'm going to do the best I can for you. Some think I have stuff that you want to hear, so let's get into it. I'm really excited. We're getting ready to roll out how to make six-figure income in real estate. Why is that the title? Because as I've been interviewing over the years, and as you talk to agents, you say, "What do you want to make?" They say six figures. I was there as well, and it's really a question: what's that going to do for your life, right? Because that's a good or money's good for the good it can do. So today, let's start with I want to talk about um, the power of routine. Okay, what's your day look like? When people ask, well, how are you successful in this business? It's really about routine, and I'm a firm believer in if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. So, uh, what does that mean? When does that start? Really, it starts in October. October, I'm planning my calendar for 2026. So this month, I'm setting that calendar. And why am I starting then? Because what's most, if if somebody said this is most important to me or that's most important to me, I would say let me see your calendar and see if that is really what's most important to them. Because if it is most important, it should be on there and you should protect it and guard it above all anything else. So if that's time with your family, if that's vacations, time away, time to recharge, that should be on there and that should be blocked. And I used to think that was something that wasn't possible because I've got a listing appointment. I've got buyers coming into town. Well, guess what? When you put that on there first and you plan around it, it is possible and it does happen. So that's one thing that's really important to do. And then routine. Your habits are your hidden wealth. What does your daily routine look like? When your rhythm is steady, then your results follow. Consistency protects your energy, focus, and income. All of that is really important. And it may sound complicated, but very simple. I know when I have a routine, my day goes much, much better. Now, we do know that we're in real estate, so we tend to go on the fly as things come up throughout the day. But having everything else as routine as possible from when you're getting up, if you're doing your morning devotions, uh, eating right, fueling the body, exercise, very, very, very important. I'll go into it more as time goes on, but I have had quite the journey the last 18 months. And if you look back at some of the old posts, you'll see not the healthiest physically, which definitely relates throughout your entire life. Very, very, very important to protect your health. So if your health is your wealth, to be perfectly honest. Daily habits. So you've taken care of yourself, you fueled yourself, you're getting your mind right. You to me, we operate on God, family, business. My spirituality and my connection with God is important to me, and so and then of course spending time with your family. Um, making sure that you protect that, so then you can run at peak performance. So now let's get into the habits. We've all heard it. Um, you know, I promise you, the successful do it, and that is if you win your morning, you win your day. So with us, it's lead generation. It is, are you opening your email first thing? Because guess what? That is not the best habit if you want to win, because you can really lose a lot of time there. So, uh, lead generation in the morning. What does it look like? This is the most important time block. You want to remove the distractions. Again, the email, things that are going to pull you away from that. Making the calls, text, personal notes. Protect this time like your paychecks depends on it. Because guess what? It does. It really does. So then, how do you stay sharp? It's all about skill building. And, and if you think you know it all in this business, that's when you're really in trouble because there's always something to learn. This market is ever changing. Are you changing with it? Or are you just waiting for it to get back to where it was? Well, guess what? It will never get back to exactly what it was because it's different circumstances, different interest rates, different buyer purchasing and buyer confidence of what's going on. So you've got to shift with it. If you stop growing, then you're dying. Your business is dying. So this is what top producers do every single day. We stay in the market. It can be as simple as turning on your MLS. You can set the search up that shows you how many homes just came on in the last 24 hours, or you can look by the week, by the month. Price reductions, price increases, which right now is going to be a lot of times your new construction. We're not going to see many price increases, but your price decreases. There was a time where we were seeing 600 of these a week, and now we're seeing 300. Well, what's that tell us, right? So it's knowing this information, and really that's our responsibility as agents. I believe, winners practice until they get it right. Professionals practice till they can't get it wrong. So that is the big difference in what my morning looks like, and others that I know, is being consistent in this so that we can serve our clients and be the professionals that they deserve. Then we're role playing. We're going through scenarios on the team, talking about what's going on, and the correct response for that. If we do not know it, I guarantee somebody on the team does, as things change quickly. So that's where iron sharpens iron. We are helping one another grow and make sure that we are the absolute best. And consistent learning. Are you learning based? Because when I meet successful agents, and people that have become mentors to me in this business, I've noticed a common thread that I'm really attracted to, and that is that learning based person that is consistently learning. Well, how do you do that? Putting yourself in the right rooms. You need to be challenged. Don't be embarrassed. I know, I fight that as well sometimes. I'm human. We are all human. But challenge yourself. Put yourself in those rooms of those people that will help elevate you. Then, how about client appointments? You've got to have those client appointments, right? And I know we say as a general rule of thumb, prospect for 2 hours. It would be great if you could prospect for 1 hour and have 5 times the appointments. The reality is that it's really about the consistency and getting comfortable with that and pushing through the uncomfortable. And when you do that, you're going to notice that 3 hours went by and you're still calling, you're still talking to people. I'm a big face-to-face person, so take what I'm saying here and you can modify this. Find what your zone is. So then, each appointment builds trust and creates new opportunities. I believe that to my core. I may have a conversation. I get teased about it in the team. I could be at a gas station. I could be at a grocery store. So one way or the other, I'm having a conversation, and it's natural that we end up talking about real estate. Most are either one way or the other. They're interested in real estate. They want to know what's going on. Lately, we have a lot of people wanting to know the values of the home that they already sold. They want to watch it. They want to see, or they're thinking about selling. They're thinking about purchasing. They are considering downsizing and renting, or they're renters that want to buy. So somehow it always ends up on the real estate. And so have these conversations. Make sure that people know that you're not a wonderful kept secret. They know what you do for a living, and that you love it. If you don't love it, you may want to reconsider that. So reconsider what you're doing. It's gonna show. If you're going against the grain of what you really enjoy, then that's a whole nother conversation. There's a lot of avenues you can do that has to do with that you can get involved in that has to do with real estate one way or the other. But maybe being a realtor isn't it. It is it's quite the commitment. But if you love it, you never work a day in your life. So weekly commitments. At least one training or accountability call. Why is it important? Important because learning based. You have to stay sharp, and also we all need accountability. I need accountability. Yes, it may be a coach. Maybe that sounds better to some, but it's the same thing. And she scares me. I'm going to be honest. She scares me because I know that she's not going to let me off the hook. She's going to hold me accountable. So I say that jokingly. She doesn't. Well, she does kind of scare me, but in a good way. She's going to challenge me. She's going to help me push to what I have already committed to, where I want to be. A lot of times uncomfortable, but very important. So whether that's a friend, whether a fellow colleague in the office, you know, give them permission to hold you accountable. Surround yourself with others who challenge and support growth. I think we've already covered that. And then what does your actions look like? One big question, open houses. I've seen some stuff on Facebook. Some like them, some love them, some don't like them, some think they're useful, they don't think. I've always liked open houses. They've always been great. They are great for the client. Of course, they're great for the agent, but they're only as good as you prepare for them. You have got to, all the work is leading up to it, and or a big portion of it, I should say, is leading up to it, not just the event itself. So, if you're having a poor outcome on open houses, it's because your preparation is falling short. So now you'll have some where only two or three come through, but you know what? They're fantastic conversations. If you are a realtor that loves what you do, you're gonna enjoy those conversations regardless whether they're buying, selling, just meeting people, right? And there's been many a times that years later they're calling saying, "Hey, I met you at this open house." They remember you. They appreciate you giving value and offering your expertise. So I would definitely, personally, will never abandon open houses, broker open houses. I love meeting others. So get out and connect with your market. Face-to-face presence builds trust faster. I believe that, and it's a good thing because that's where I naturally fit, and maybe that's why I've been able to excel in this industry. Is because I love the face-to-face. I love people. Every event is an opportunity to grow your sphere and your visibility. We just kind of talked a bit about that. Um, it's how you show up. It is if you are enjoying the moment, if you're enjoying instead of just after a sale, okay. If you were just after a sale, then we we need to have again a whole nother conversation if this is the right industry. The money will be there. Your success to be able to make the money and live the life you want to live, will be there. But it's really all about caring. It's about your heart being in the right place and wanting to help, and being that professional. So 2 to 3 social media posts consistency builds visibility. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've seen my post recently. I cannot take credit for that. That's the amazing team that I'm on, and the truth is, I was falling short there. So that is exactly what I'm doing there, and that consistency is building our visibility because you're watching. Um, Post valuable, local, and authentic content to stay top of mind. Really important. Um, just be real. Post what is going on and what people need to know and want to know more of. Your presence online supports the trust that you build offline 100%. I thought for many, many years, well, I'm not going to do all that. I don't need to do all that. And the reality is, it is important because that's where the market's at. So, like I had said before, if you're not growing your business, then it is dying. And I really hope that that's what you're doing is you're building a business and not just transactional, because that's a very different road to be on. Um, so my key takeaways: rhythm creates results, repetition creates rhythm, success is built on the consistency of small daily actions. Listen, those small daily actions is the key. It's taken me a lot of years to learn that. Small hinges swing big doors. And then it's just the consistency. Many think that agents or teams of our size, that there is some magic or, that there must be. Guess what? It is still exactly, a lot of it is the same core things I was doing my very first year. I just love it, and have decided that I don't want to do it alone. I'd rather do it with my team, and so we do more of it. But it's those small things. Now, do you then add more videos, more things like that, higher quality things? Sure, absolutely. Um, but don't forget the core. In the last few years, that's what many have had to go back to. I know a lot of teams that have made major adjustments going back to the way they used to do it. Why? Because that's what works. So I hope this helped you today and gave you a little more insight into us and myself. And I look forward to seeing you guys and talking more about other topics in the future. You know how to get a hold of me, and I would love the time to talk to you about anything more that we talked about today. That's our first Facebook Live.